They spend days hiking remote stretches of Washington coastline, all for a chance to spot sea otters in the surf. Fox 13's Lauren Donovan trekked miles into the Olympic Peninsula to join a group of scientists who are taking their research to new heights.
Hunted to extinction, outright eliminated from the Washington coast over a century later, the sea otters are back, but are they rebounding? We've traveled to the furthest reaches of the Olympic Peninsula to find out for ourselves. We've hiked into the graveyard of the Pacific, searching for a species that almost never returned, following this all-female team of scientists racing to understand whether this recovery can last.
And there are quite a few on the perimeter.
The last Washington sea otter was shot and killed in Willapa Bay way back in 1910.
There's also a couple near shore.
The population we're after started with only a few Alaskan otters brought here decades ago.
It's really important to keep an eye on this population because they really started out with about 10 animals.
That's our otter, snails.
Tracking, timing, meticulously documenting their every move, gathering clues about a species once thought lost forever.
Woke up early, packed everything, made sure we were good to go.
Every month without fail, they're out here. Amy Olson and her team from the Seattle Aquarium.
Coming out here being totally disconnected gives you more kind of grounding and connection to the earth and appreciation for the natural environment. I mean, how gorgeous is this background?
3 days at a time, 3 different sites, 3 different groups of otters. This week, Clallam Bay, Sandpoint, and Nia Bay. 2 of those sites you can drive to. But this one, Sandpoint, where they're almost guaranteed a sighting, you've got to earn. 6 miles round trip.
We're hoping to see a raft of otters that we typically see here.
And on this day, in one of the wettest places in all North America, we're hoping for something else, a break in the clouds. Downpour, high winds, any of it could ground an effort years in the making.
Well, I'm so glad that it's not raining anymore so I can fly the drone.
At last, Amy is finally ready for her first flight.
This is Olympic National Park where we are right now.
And her colleague and mentor, Sean Larson, who spent decades doing this work by hand, is about to see it transformed.
Just around that farthest headland is an area called Ozette. And the reason why the sea otters are in this spot particularly is because they were first reintroduced into Washington just south of us in La Push, which it looks very much like this.
Looking out into the tidelands, sea stacks pop out of the surf.
And this is why this coast was so hard to navigate, and this area is known for a lot of shipwrecks.
The same jagged coves and rocky inlets that made this coast deadly for sailors also makes it a perfect spot for sea otters to hide. Heading along the water's edge toward our lookout, we stumble across the first sign that they're here.
You can tell a sea otter has cracked this open.
Yep.
How?
Well, because they'll scoop up a bunch of snails in the tide pools. They'll bring up like 15, 20 sometimes. Crack, crack, crack. They crack open the top and then slurp it like a little oyster on the half shell. And then they toss it. And so you can see the otters eating it like popcorn. So you've got all the
We're going to climb up to the top of that little haystack, and that's where our viewing point is.
Marching in their muckers, one by one, we make it up the grassy mound. And that is when it happens.
Oh, there's the raft right there.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah!
Yay! We spotted otters.
And there's definitely more than 10.